Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Living lightly in the light of wisdom. Today is our second talk. Yesterday we lived lightly. Today we continue to live in the same mode. What is the meaning of living lightly? Does it mean being irresponsible? Living lightly, does it mean that we are absolutely indolent, lazy? No. Living lightly means we are accepting the life not as a problem, but we are accepting the life as a challenge. Whenever we take life as a challenge, we have a different approach. I'll give an example. Once somewhere in India, in a remote place, I was watching this Olympic race. And there was one old lady from that village with whom I was sitting in the same chair. And I took her hand in my hand and she was asking me, Swamiji, what they are doing? I said, look here, these girls, they are running. This is called as obstacle race. And the one who goes first gets the gold medal, etc. And the girls started running, and there are obstacles in between. And this old lady says, why you are troubling those poor girls? Why don't you remove those obstacles unnecessarily? Let them run. See, those obstacles for that lady were problems. And those girls have taken those obstacles as challenge. So living life lightly means first, let us take not life as a problem, because when we take something as a problem, we have submitted and accepted that we are not capable. And when we take something as a challenge, we are able to bring out the best hidden talents in us. And for that, as in the morning class we have seen here, what is required is that where is our attention when we interact in the world? See? Anything that we do through an instrument. And if that instrument is not properly tuned, we cannot use that instrument properly. And our performance cannot be perfect. For example, there was a husband. In the morning, he stood before the mirror and wanted to shave. So he applied the whitewash. I don't know how they do because I have never done that. When I was in China, I was a big hit. Everybody was looking at me and doing, language is a barrier. So they will do like this thing. Because they hardly have got one hair somewhere and they go on nurturing that. So, when this husband was early morning, got up and did the whitewash, and when he was plowing through, when he was wanting to shave with the razor, it got cut. Oh God, what kind of blades these companies supply? They take a lot of money, but they don't give a good instrument. So when he started complaining, if the husband complains and the wife supports, it is impossible. A wife is in opposition to the husband. This is how, the parliaments run. Ruling party... One is the ruling party and second is not opposition party. So second is ruining party. See? Opposition means what? Anything what the ruling party does must be opposed. That is simple thing. The same way the houses run. So when husband said something, wife has a comment. You have always complained about the whole world. I don't know what kind of stuff you are made up of. Look here, darling, see, the blade I use, it has plowed through. See what kind of blade they make. I don't know what kind of beard you have. I have just now taken the same blade and pared the pencil of your son and fixed it back. See? So for her, the sharpness of a blade required for paring a pencil and for shaving is the same quality. Is it the same quality? No. Both are sharpness. In the same manner, the intellect or the mind or the reason with which we live in this material world is different. And the mind and the intellect with which we lead our life in its totality. You know, today's buzzword in the health industry is holistic approach. See? Healthy means doesn't mean suppose somebody has got one leg polio, other leg elephantitis, therefore his average legs are okay. See? You cannot deduct statistical averages in this way. So we have to have the holistic approach. In the same manner, living life lightly has the holistic approach. One is, in the material front we are successful, not at the cost of peace within. See, when this balance is perfectly achieved, then we are leading our life lightly. Just if we imagine, no, I believe in simple living and high thinking, it is a self-deception. In fact, it is not a simple living and high thinking. It is a dirty living and stupid thinking. See? We have to be successful in the outer world. And to be successful in the outer world, we have to have an instrument which is available for application in an intelligent manner. See? And for that purpose, the instrument, the mind that we have, it has to be properly trained. See, friend. So all these spiritual practices are aimed at working on the mind. See, and what is that which will be achieved through every spiritual practice? That the mind remains equanimous. Equanimity of the mind has the highest potentiality ready for manifestation. We all have got tremendous potentiality. It is not that the great masters who lived in this world, you just see the output of work in their whole life. You take, for example, Swami Vivekananda from India. He lived productive life hardly 15 years, not even that. But during that short period, the recorded work, the total work of Vivekananda is so huge that even if we read only once, our lifetime is not enough. Now that person who could do so much, is it for him there were 40 hours a day, 15 days a week, 100 days a month, and 1,000 days a year? No. He worked on the same time scale on which you and me are working. 24/7, 365. During his time, is it that everything was very beautiful? No disturbances? No. The economic turmoil, the political wars, everything was happening. In short, what is that because of which one person is able to bring out such a tremendous output and the other person is absolutely good for nothing? See, there is a saying. I was talking to this girl when she came from her office. I said, hey, how was the day? Was it very busy? A little bit busy. So I gave her a principle. Those who have got lot of time, they are good for nothing. That is why all the time is freely available. There is a saying, if you want to get a job done in a new place, don't find out a person who is freely available. Find out a person who is very busy. And then your job will be done. See? Normally about time management you must have studied in your management classes. Time management means what we do, we take a paper and pen and try to say, get up in the morning 5 o'clock and do this thing, this job, and go on tick marking. That is not time management, that is being dumb. Time management means that we do not repeat the same job twice. Whatever is done, it is done in the first stroke and perfectly. See? That is what is called as time management. Means our abilities and our potentiality is at its peak performance. Then we will never be short of time. One day, there was some, of the audience, one girl, very sweet. She came, Swamiji, I like your lectures and I always hear you. And I'm so happy I can see you personally. I said, very good, thank you very much. Then naturally I had to also, out of courtesy say, so what do you do? Swamiji, I am a steno, a secretary to some big person. So what are your problems? Do you have problems? Because secretary means no problem. No, you don't know our problems. I said, please tell me. She told her problems. My problem is my boss. Why? He is dumb. That is the most torturous experience when you have to work under a dumb boss. Those who have gone through, they know. See, I said, what is your problem? He said, my problem is, my boss calls me, trying a particular type of bell, so I go there with my notepad, I had to take dictation. And he gives the paper, this is the reference, and write down. We are extremely happy to receive your valuable order, and we shall execute as per your schedule that you had demanded. Thanks a lot for selecting us for this valuable order of yours. Thanks once more. Yours sincerely. So order, dictation is given, and then I go back. By the time I go and sit on my chair, again I come back. See, that later I told you cancel that. I'll tell you. Write down. These days there are lots of electricity cuts, and there are strikes in the factory, and therefore we will not be able to supply as per your schedule. However, you have to deposit 100% money and then suffer silently. And we will provide as per our convenience, thanking you in anticipation. Same letter, second action. Then she said, I go back and I put my paper. Those days, typewriters, nowadays computers. So I put my paper and start, cut. Again I go. Now what? See, that later I told you, cancel that. Tomorrow I am proceeding on leave, let the next person take the decision. Now see, one later, the action that you have to take, you have spent 3 visits of your steno. Now what is the reason? The reason is we are not capable. Time management does not mean keeping the time and from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, that is not time management. See, time management is increasing our efficiency to such an extent that any job that we do, it is done in the first stroke as a final shot. That ability is possible if we are living lightly in the light of wisdom. See, friends. Now, what is the wisdom that will make our life lightly? The wisdom is There was a barber, and he had a son about 8-10 years, and it was a Sunday. So the customer was, 3-4 customers were sitting in the chair. You know the barbers, what they do, the moment a new customer goes, they first of all do the whitewash and shave half and leave him pending. Now he can't go out. He can't go, he has to sit there. These are all the professional tricks. So 3-4 were parked in the various chairs, and his son came, barber's son came. And he said, Daddy, should I try shaving? Okay, beta, you can definitely try. Take the razor and do it properly. But when you are doing, don't cut your hand. You can cut his throat, doesn't matter. See? If we are doing anything in our life, please remember this, we should never repeat it twice. Keep that as an ideal. Then you will see what a difference it makes. We keep on changing. Like, your time management. The children, they do in the school, I don't know here. When the exams come nearer, then they decide, okay, now I have to do. Get up early in the morning, 5 o'clock. 5 to 5:30, bathroom, toilet, everything. 5:30 to 6:30, mathematics. 6:30 to 7:30, physics. 7:30 to 8:30, English. Then break, have breakfast, etc. Complete day is planned. In the morning, they get up, finish bathroom, toilet, etc. 5:30. What is that? We have to study mathematics. Oh God, my book is taken by my friend. Now what is to be done? Why waste time? Go to sleep. This is our time management. See, friends. Therefore, whatever we are doing in this world, we have to keep our instrument perfect. And for keeping that instrument perfect, there are very scientific techniques. Now I'll tell you 4 techniques. And each technique aims at keeping our mind absolutely tuned and never catching any rust. That bright, brilliant and sharp mind is able to peep beyond the words and cognize the meaning of the silence. That kind of mind is able to bring out the best performance. That is what is called as living lightly. Therefore, such masters, they do so much of work and yet they are relaxed. There is no tension, there is no worry. Where from this thing comes? It is only because the mind they have cultivated and maintained in that manner. Now let us take one by one. First, we all have to but act in this world. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarmakrut karyate hi avashaha karma prakriti jair gunaihi. The statement tells that we have no option whether we should act in this world or we should not act. Every one of us have to do something or the other. There is no choice. Now the question is, if all of us have to act, then how do we act? That is our choice. So do we act in such a manner that we do the things and suffer silently? Or we do the things cheerfully and happily and relax? This is the choice. See? And therefore, let us grow wise. How we grow wise? We grow wise when we learn from our own life's experiences. If we learn from every experience of life, we will grow with every experience of life additional wise. And if we do not learn from the experiences of our own life, we grow old and otherwise. And when we are otherwise, we have nothing but complaints in our life. So let us take the first step. If we have to live in this world and do something or the other, now the question is, how do we do this? So let us analyze. Can I act yesterday? No. Because we always live today. Can I act tomorrow? No. Because we are living today. Clear? Third, if we are living today, and if at the time of whatever we are doing it as an expression of happiness, what will be the net result? Every action, when it is an expression of happiness, we will never be miserable in life. Being light means being happy. See? Take an example. 3-4 examples I'll give you. A person carrying a huge load on his head and is tired. For him, what is happiness? Unload. See? Happiness is only comparative. So our understanding of happiness is absence of misery is called as happiness. It is not a positive thing. See, friends. Now the second happiness is if we are carrying some kind of load on our mind. For example, I have to get my daughter married, the 7th one. I have got 7 daughters. And the earlier daughters, they found out they are fools and got rid of, my worries. But the 7th one is a terrible one. She neither finds out her own fool and she doesn't want to remain single. She wants me to find out a boy for her. So I go all the time with a hooking, that fishing rod where I can fish somebody, and I'm so tired. I don't know what to do. Finally, I succeed. And I get that daughter married and she goes out. The load on the mind has gone. It is only this comparative happiness we have recognized. See, friends. Therefore, if we are doing anything in our life, let us clearly understand whatever we are doing must be an expression of joy. There are 3 options with which we can interact in this world. One action is revolt. But the question is, how many times will you revolt in life? Second option is accept cheerfully and happily whatever comes in life. See, this is possible. But there is a third option which we adopt in our life. What is the third option? Average of these 2 extremes. How do we adopt? On the surface value, we accept cheerfully, and inside we revolt terribly. The net result is externally beautiful, internally acidity, ulcer, tensions, GERD, and every kind of problem. See, friends, like our air hostesses, when you get in, hello. On the surface there is a smile, but at the bottom there is a revolt. And as a result, our personality is completely tortured. Therefore, if we have to work and live in this world, and if we have to live in the present and today, and if all the actions are happening only now and today, and if every action is an expression of happiness and joy, we will never be miserable. You know what we do? We procrastinate our own happiness. See? For example, I am talking to you. This is an action. Speech is an action. So I am talking to you. And I imagine, after my lecture is over, you all will get up and give me a standing ovation. Oh, Swamiji, you really did wonderful job. And in anticipation of that thing, I postpone my happiness. And after my lecture is over, you will not say that because I did not do that good. What is the net result? While talking, I am not experiencing happiness, and afterwards also I will not get happiness, and my result will be I am utterly miserable all the time. Now try the other way around. If I am talking to you as an expression of joy and happiness, and now I am happy, if you are suffering, you have got a freedom. See, you are the citizen of a free nation. You have got every right to be miserable. Who am I to stop you from that? But as regard I am concerned, I am happy. See, friends, and whenever we do anything as an expression of happiness, it is a constructive performance. It cannot be a destructive performance. Can I go and talk to my girlfriend? Darling, today I am so happy, I tell you, I just want to pluck your head and throw it. Can it ever happen? See, happiness is a creative force. It is not a destructive one. And therefore, it is one of the simplest way to lead our life perfectly beautiful. And this is wisdom. And in this wisdom, we are not dependent on the whole world. See, whether you are sitting in the chair, whether you are sitting in the yoga mattress, whether you are standing on your head, whether you are doing pranayam, it makes no difference. Whether you are eating the dead bodies or the live bodies, it makes no difference. See, friends, what is important is, are we living our life wisely or otherwisely? And this is wisdom. It is very simple. All problems are born out of erroneous thinking. Correct the thinking, everything is perfect. And this is a simple thinking. That we have but no choice to live in the present. All actions are done in the present. And if every action is an expression of joy, we will never be miserable. And when we are happy all the time, we cannot be a destructive force. We will be a creative strength. Then the life is fulfilled. There are no regrets. I wish I had done that. See? While coming, I was telling Ashwin, I said, you must see one movie. That, what is that bucket? The bucket list. Have you seen that bucket list? Not seen? You have wasted your life. Okay, have you seen Kung Fu Panda? See, Kung Fu Panda is one of the most beautiful movies. Do see that. And you know what is the message of that movie? There is no secret. See, this is wisdom. Let us not run outside for getting advice from people. See? Discover your own potentiality by the simple techniques. So this is all that life expects from us. Let every action of our life be an expression of joy. See? So when we wake up in the morning, do we wake up cheerfully? Oh God, again. See? This is doing meditation. It's fine now. In meditation it happens, isn't it? People start the meditation with the exclamation. After a long period of 3 seconds, they become a question mark. And after another long period of 3 seconds, they become underline. And then they, help themselves. We are doing meditation in Shavasana, so they are flat. See? So when we take this attitude in life, every action is an expression of joy, such a person does not expect anything from life. See, in the second chapter of Gita, many people have this wrong understanding. One young man asked me this question. Swamiji, in your Gita, you people say, do your work but don't expect anything in return. How it is possible? Do you mean I should do my job and don't take the salary? I said, you are dumb if you think that way. That is not the way. Then what is the meaning? The meaning is, when you are keeping your, be very attentive, it's a very subtle point. When you are doing anything, but your attention is on the result, means you have pushed yourself in the future. So if you have gone in the future, you are not available in the present. Therefore, your availability is partial. And with the partial availability for any job, there cannot be complete happiness. See? Suppose you have got something of your own choice to eat, and you have just taken it, and then some good or bad news comes. But now you don't want to spoil the mood of everybody. Only to show you eat that. But will you enjoy it that much as you would have enjoyed earlier? Because you are partially available. Therefore, when we are fully, completely available, then alone there is absolute happiness. And this complete availability in the present is possible when whatever we have to do it cheerfully, happily, and with all your heart in it. Not only, okay, we know. You know, in USA there is a chain of hotels called as TGIF. Do you know that? TGIF, it is called as Thank God It's Friday. So they work from Monday through Friday afternoon, and afternoon all of them go for a weekend. And Monday they come to the office. After the weekend, they come weekend. And when they come weekend on Monday, then they are somehow dragging through. For such people, I have started another chain of hotels. And that chain of hotel is called as OGIM. It was TGIF, OGIM. Oh God, it's Monday. Now tell me, a person who comes for work in the morning on Monday with this kind of attitude, what will be his performance? You know, in UK, earlier days when horses were used for riding or for carts, there used to be one disease among the horses. It used to be called as the Monday morning sickness. Because Saturday and Sunday the horses are only kept in the stable, no work. And therefore, after 2 days of no work, all the joints get swollen. And when on Monday they come to work, then they start limping. Hey, what happened? No, don't worry. It is a Monday morning sickness. After some time, 1 hour working, they'll be all right. See, friends, let us not have this Monday morning sickness in our life. Whatever we do it cheerfully and happily. You can never be miserable. See, it is so simple. Now apply this principle to everything. When you sit on the dining table, when the food comes in front of you, before you eat, you should say, the food is very good. This is what I do. Otherwise, you have to speak lies. Now, once you have seen the food and before eating, you say the food is very good. Now you have no choice but to eat it. See? But many of us have got this habit. The moment they come on the dining table, any food is given, and they keep on eating. They don't stop also. See? Such people, they eat like gluttons but continue to be like the bamboo sticks. They never put on weight. Therefore, friends, this is one simple example. Whatever you do. I was telling the other day, I have seen one child, 10 months. His name is Anand. And his mother is very close to me and she's a doctor. First time mother. So cute the child is. He never cries. Any time he wakes up from the sleep, he is smiling. Even at night, if the mother has to wake him up or he wakes up because of wet drape and all that, anything happens, he never cries. Anytime. What a joy. Smiling child is a public property. And a cranky child is the mother's tragedy. She has no way. Isn't it? Therefore, friends, let us understand the simple principle of life. Let us not complain. All that is required for our evolution, that alone is given to us by the Lord. Not one mistake is there. There can be mistake anywhere, not in the divine scheme. Everything that happens is exactly that is required. But we being Indians, we are funny. You know, who is an Indian? Somebody asked me this question. Somebody, how do you define an Indian? I said, Indian is the one who is a born doctor. See? When an Indian goes to anybody's, like I go to so many places, suppose sometime my throat is bad, all the people of that house, they will say, Swamiji, don't worry. We will give you some medicine. Now they are not doctors, but they will give medicine. And now see, I will boil milk and we will put turmeric powder in that and boil it, and then when you take it, neither there will be throat nor any problem. Out. So every Indian is a born doctor, every Indian is a born philosopher, every Indian is an advisor, every Indian is very good in somebody else's job. Not his own job, somebody else's job. What others should do, they can tell. What they do, See? Therefore, instead of getting into this kind of mode, let us do whatever we have to do cheerfully and happily. Doesn't matter what we have to do. So, when we take in this manner, we will not complain. The day we stop complaining, we have grown wise. Bhagavad Gita defines a wise man. Gatasuna gatasuncha nanushocanti panditaha. A wise one is the one who does not grieve because somebody dies or somebody doesn't die. The fools are miserable because somebody died. I'm so miserable. Or they are also miserable. This fellow doesn't die. Gadasun gadasushcha nanu shochanti pandita. Therefore, friends, wisdom does not mean we get two horns like Onida and a tail. That is not the wisdom. Wisdom is we are cool and on the top of the world, under every condition. And that is possible when the equanimity of our mind is never disturbed. That doesn't mean we are, in anesthesia. No, we are very much alive, responding to the world and not reacting to the world. In this manner, when we take this approach to life, our first approach to grow wise is clearly established. Now the second approach, this approach is called as the approach of karma. So in the 5th chapter of Gita, Bhagavan says, Yoginaha karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atma shuddhaye. Now the second point about this action or karma, when we do anything, who needs it? It is our need. The world does not need our presence. Please understand this point. When we were not in this world, there was nothing lacking. When we will not be in this world, there will be no lacuna. When we are in this world, it is not a great deal. See? But we have this wrong notion. Because of me, the world is moving. Because of me, the family is taken care of. Because of me, the children are growing. I saw one man, 35 years of age, so short. I said, hey, what is your age, my child? His voice came like a man's voice. Swamiji, I am 35 years old. How come you are so small? No parents, so I did not grow. See? What arrogance the parents have, that we are making the children grow every day. When we get up, like the air in the bicycle, we pump and then the child grows every day. This is the point where we feel that we are doing some great favor to the world. The most important thing is, it is our need that we do whatever we do. The whole attitude will change. See? For example, I have come here. And like, Ashwin and Arvind and all this, Swamiji, thank you, you have come all the way from India, etc. I said, don't fool yourself and me. I am very clear. You all do not need me. It is my need that I have come here. If you are not there, will I talk to the furniture? So it is my need that I have come here. Now with this attitude, when I talk to you, what will be my expression? My expression will be respect and reverence for you. And whenever you interact with anybody in this world in a respectful manner, you will never be miserable in life. So whatever we are doing, the world doesn't need. It is our necessity. See, friends, life becomes so beautiful. See, one day, to one girl, sweet girl, small, about 5-7 years age, she did something very good, very nice chanting she did. So I had a beautiful chocolate in my pocket, chocolate bar. So I gave it to her. I said, hey darling, you did really well. This is for you. I was thinking, I am giving to this child and the child will be happy. The child even did not touch it. Swamiji, you can keep it. I don't need it. I said, why? Mummy told, don't eat chocolates. I don't eat chocolates. Now tell me, I wanted to give, but unless there is a receiver, to whom will you give? So in an act of charity, the receiver is more valuable than the donor. In the same manner, in every action that we do, it is our need that we do something in this world. The world does not need us. See, friends. So when we go and help somebody, the somebody doesn't require. He has given us an opportunity to help somebody. With this attitude, when we live our everyday's every experience, we are living in the light of wisdom. And such a person can never be arrogant of his charity, of his success in life. He will have the humility, and he will never make anybody humiliated because of his riches. See, friends, this is one method which we are told, if we practice, our mind remains at peace. And this is a very simple rule. If we are at peace with ourselves, then alone we are at peace with the whole world. If we are at war with ourselves, we cannot be at peace with the world. And we can be at peace with ourselves only if we are living in the utter present. No more load of the past, worries of the future. Now the second technique told is the technique of self-discipline. Whether it is the material prosperity or a spiritual evolution, one of the most important ingredients of our lifestyle has to be a strict self-discipline. And here the law is very simple. Self-imposed discipline is the freedom, and discipline imposed by others is a bondage. See, now here we all are here. Now among you, those of you who have come on your own, they are enjoying the freedom of their presence here. And those who are pulled by a lead, come on, you also come. No, come on, you have to come. Okay, I'll come. Now those who are forcibly brought over here, they will be sitting here. And when others are enjoying, and that one person is silently suffering in a dignified silence. See, friends, why? Because it is imposed on. See how simple it is? Therefore, when we understand this principle, self-discipline is not a bondage, friends. It is a freedom. And when we live in that freedom, you will see life becomes very, very simple. When we are not self-disciplined, mind rules us. In the 6th chapter, the teacher says, Atmaiva Atmano Bandhu Atmaiva Ripuratmanaha. When our mind is under our control, that mind is our friend. When the mind is not under our control and we are controlled by the mind, the same mind is our enemy. See, friends. And therefore, to make our mind a friend, what is required is that mind has to be disciplined. And for disciplining the mind, there are different techniques told. Now these techniques, I'll just give you one-liners. Very simple, not difficult. The first technique is that we are not a problem for anybody around us, and we do not take anybody as a problem. We are having such a chemistry which is able to tally with everyone around us. See? This is one very important thing. We do not become a kind of a black sheep in a white flock. No. See, take an example for this. Iceberg and the oceanic waters. What is the difference? How much iceberg we see above the water level? Much more, 2/3 is below. Life is sustained in the oceanic waters, not on the iceberg. And what is the iceberg? Consolidated water. In the same manner, consolidated ego is like the iceberg, and the water is like the total life. So when we are able to be at home with everyone around us, see, life becomes very simple. Normally what happens? We have such a prejudice, such biasness towards the world and the people around us. That biasness destroys our peace of mind. One example I'll give you. Once I was sitting with my friend in his shop, and I said, "You are asking me to sit in your counter, then I will play with the money." "Okay, Swamiji." "Then I'll distribute." "I know you will not do, Swamiji, but okay." I said, "Don't worry, I will not do. You may get a heart attack." And when I was just playing fool with my friend, very elderly man, one person was coming from a distance. And he told me, "See, Swamiji, that man who is coming to our shop, he is coming for getting donations. I can smell these people from a distance." I said, "Don't worry, I'll give from your, cash box." That man came, and after having come, he asked, "Is this the shop of Mr. So-and-so?" "Yes." "Do you have a friend in Calcutta? So-and-so?" "Yes." He said, "You please dial this number. He wants to talk to you. He has sent me." He dialed the number. Then he said, "Give me the phone." "Is it the same person you asked me to meet and give a draft of $2 million? "Yes." "So shall I give him?" "Yes." "Okay, take this draft and tell your friend you received the draft." "Okay, I received the draft. Thank you very much." And he was immediately ready to go. No, wait, have a cup of tea. Where from you have come?" He said, "No, I'm in a hurry, I have to go." After he has gone, then I asked him, "He was coming for a donation, is it not?" "No, Swamiji." This is how we start seeing what is not there. Because the mind is biased. This prejudice in our mind doesn't allow us to perceive the world as it is. We don't see what is. We see what we have decided to see. See, friends. And therefore, the first technique is that let us not have any biasness with the world. We are at home with everyone, and nobody finds our presence as a burden. First technique of self-discipline. Like many places I visit throughout the world. After my lectures are over, I don't stay there for any time. Immediately I want to leave. One of my friends asked me, "Swamiji, why you are in such a hurry?" In Bombay only asked. I came from Australia. Only for overnight I was in Bombay. And next flight I took came to South Africa. So he asked me, "Swamiji, why you are running so much? Come from one place and take another flight and go. What are you getting out of it?" I said, "Okay, I will not go. I will stay in your house for the whole year." No, I don't mean that." See? Please remember this basic principle. When our job is done, where we are not required, we should not stay even for a moment. Then we are not a burden to the people. When the other person is not interested in listening to us, let us not continue our C90 reversible cassette. See, this is what happens with many elderly people. They keep on talking about their past. We don't understand. Nobody is interested in our past. Everybody is concerned about their future. But we don't understand this. We keep on bragging in all our old memories. So, the first technique of self-discipline is, let us remain extremely aware that we are not a problem for others and others are not taken as a problem. First. Second thing, this is all self-discipline. Second thing, it is not that others are a problem for us. We are a problem for ourselves. See, how we are a problem for ourselves? In US it happened, I was staying with one doctor family, both husband and wife doctors. And they will get up early in the morning and go to work. After our class, everything is over. And whole day I am at home looking after their dog. Went in search of God and looking after the dog. Spelling change, that's all. So, she asked me, Swamiji, I don't know, I just cannot wake up early in the morning. What should I do? I said, I am here. I'll continue to stay in your house. Early morning when I get up at 4 o'clock, I will open the fridge, take out the cold water. Instead of giving the bath to the Lord Shiva Linga, I will put the cold water on your head and then you get it. Those who cannot leave the bed early in the morning of their free choice, in the next life they are born as bed bugs. Next time you see a bed bug, oh, this is what I am going to be next time. See, many a times we are a problem for ourselves. See, so we have to be no problem for ourselves. And a person who cannot help himself, nobody can help him. The second self-discipline. Now the third discipline is stability in life. Stability begins from the physical structure, from the body. See? We have to be stable in our life, but many of us are so much uneasy. Like, once I was traveling from probably London to Bombay, 8-9 hours flight. Flight was almost empty after 9/11. So there were many empty flights. I was in one of those flights. And in the center, those 5 seats and 2 seats this side, 2 seats this side. So I was sitting in the aisle seat, in the center one, with the hope I can sleep there. And on the end, there was another man, a businessman, Marwadi type, with the dhoti and all that. And when we were, in the air, I was always feeling, kind of as if, the plane is going on a speed breaker. Khat, 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 khat. So what is happening? There is no speed breaker here. How come this khat, khat, khat sound is coming? And then I noticed that man at the end, he was vigorously moving his leg like this. So I asked him, are you in a hurry to reach? See? Because the mind is so disturbed, we just can't keep ourselves cool. See, friends. Therefore, try this. When you sit in any lecture or anywhere, just give it a try. Don't change your posture. See, when the body is steady, the prana, the life force or the breathing, that becomes steady. When the breathing becomes steady, the mind becomes steady. When the mind becomes steady, the understanding is quick and clear. They are all related together. If you take a glass of water filled and sit on a tractor, and the tractor is moving in the field, what will be the condition of the water? In the same manner, when our body is constantly agitated, disturbed, everything gets disturbed. Therefore, this is the third self-discipline. Let us learn to be steady, not constantly moving, constantly. You must have seen many people when they do some bhajan kirtan, they keep on moving, you know. Pri Guru Jaran Saroja Raja Nijamuna Mukura Sudari Varanau Raghuvara Vimana Jaso Yodayaka Phalachari. Constantly moving like this. After their Hanuman Chalisa is over, if you put below them green chilies, chutney will be ready. Because constantly moving, you know. Steadiness is very, very necessary. See? Then the fourth steadiness or self-discipline is the steadiness of breathing. See, friends, it is very simple. The quality and the frequency of thoughts is directly influenced by the quality and the frequency of breathing. See? When you are, let us say, running, and like that, and that time somebody comes and asks you, hey, excuse me, what is the time? What is the time? See? Like a dog, that time our mind becomes almost non-functional. See? Therefore, steadiness in life is brought out by the coolness of breathing. Now this breathing exercise, tomorrow we are having meditation class. Okay, tomorrow I will tell you in the morning meditation class what is the exact technique by which the pranayam or breathing is controlled so that we are able to transcend the limitation of the body identification and discover peace that passeth beyond all understanding. So the fourth discipline is the discipline of the pranayam or the prana, because of which many metabolic disorders can be corrected. See, many metabolic disorders are on account of the toxins, metabolic toxins, which are accumulated and contained in the body, they are not thrown out. So that is the fourth discipline. Then the fifth discipline is, there are two aspects in our personality. First aspect is that the world is outside and the mind is inside. The gateway between the world and inside are our senses, sense organs. So now the fifth discipline is with reference to our senses. Are our senses able to remain in their own places and not run after the worldly things? See? There is nothing wrong by seeing by our eyes at the beautiful things in the world. But what happens? I see something beautiful, I don't stop there. Thereafter, the mind starts projecting. So perception through the senses is followed by projection by the mind. And once we start projecting by the mind, we start getting influenced by that particular object. See? And once we are obsessed and influenced by any object, we fall victim to that object and the possession. Therefore, in between the outer world and inner mind, there is a gateway called as the sense organs. Through these 5 holes, we go out of ourselves. So, controlling our senses, called as pratyahara, that has to be practiced. So, we function through the sense organs, but we are no more victims and slaves to our senses. Many times it happens. One day I was in somebody's place taking food, which I had, where it happened? Recently, before I came to South Africa, one lady brought food for me. And I normally don't take onions and all that. So she brought food for me, and one particular dish which I had not eaten in last 40 years. And I had even forgotten about that dish. And I don't know why she thought about it. She brought that dish. Swamiji, every time, same thing people bring for you, so I have brought something different. Try that. And she prepared it and gave me. And then I said, hey, add onions. Swamiji, you take onions? I said, don't ask question. Add means add. And I ate it. After 40 years, that such a lovely dish she prepared. After my stomach was filled, I said, Mama, need is over. Now, greed. Give some more. See, this is how our mind, after perception, projections become so strong that we are unable to control ourselves. And then after every meal, oh, I think I had taken little more. Every day, the same story. Because there is no control. Similarly, control over talking, control over walking. So, the pratyahar. And then we come to the mind. And when we come to the mind, then the mind has to be controlled with reference to the time, space and object and wisdom. In this manner, the self-discipline is ultimately aiming only to keep our mind in cool condition. Never react in life. Only act. When we act, there is no sin. When we react, there is nothing but sin. On the stage, the cinema actors, they only act. They don't react. So one boy on the stage comes and tells the girl, honey, darling, I love you. He doesn't love her. It's only acting. And therefore, he never falls in love. He rises in love. He never falls. Because just acting only. See? And this acting we all do. Is it not? Now you are listening. Only acting, is it? Is it really changing us? No. Therefore, this self-discipline is the very simple way to grow wise and then live life in the light of that wisdom. Now, when these two things are done by us, Ashwin bhai, how long I keep on bluffing? Another 5 minutes? Okay. Because I don't have a watch and I don't know about that clock, whether it's okay or what. So, the third discipline is, when we are doing our life, living with proper way, self-discipline, one of the biggest problem that happens, we start taking ourselves to be holier than thou. I am a self-disciplined person. I wake up early in the morning. I do this thing. I go to the temple. I am not like others. Friends, this ego of success and self-discipline is most pernicious and poisonous. See? Such people are non-stop bragging about themselves. They have done good, no doubt. But that goodness becomes a burden on their head. And if they are not recognized by the world, they become bitter. And therefore, to come out of this, the third technique is told is we have to recognize one very important principle, that there is some higher power which is guiding and controlling the total creation. We are nobody in this world. One day, one elephant was crossing a river, and on the tail and the tip of the hair of that tail of the elephant, there was one mosquito sitting. And when the elephant crossed the river, mosquito also naturally crossed on that. And then he again flew and went to the ear of the elephant. Thank you very much for the lift. Elephant say, who are you? No, I was sitting on your tail and I don't even recognize your presence. In the same manner, in this infinite existence, our presence is so insignificant. But we start thinking, Konyosti sadrusho maya, I have done this, I have done this, I have done this. And that is what is the biggest burden that we carry in life. The sign of strong ego is we become miserable on every issue. The more miserable we become, the more insulted we become, the stronger is our ego. Lesser the ego, less miserable we are. See, God doesn't have ego at all. He is all bliss. And we have nothing but ego. Therefore, we are all blisters. See, friends. In this manner, when we practice that whatever we are able to do, it is the divine will. He has chosen us. We are nobody. And in this manner, when humility takes possession of our personality, we are no more arrogant because of the success, nor we are frustrated because of the failure, because we are attributing everything to the divine will. O Lord, thy will be done, not mine. See? And these three things together will bring our mind to such a quality that we will be able to perceive beyond the obvious. We will be able to cognize, this is called technically as Rutambhara Prajna, means the intuitive understanding of the world. And when we start living with an intuitive understanding, then we have reached the peak of wisdom in our lives. Such wise people never are miserable in this world. Let us grow wise and be happy. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.